Well, we got our new loaner vehicle this week, the LEXUS GX 550 Overtrail Plus. And I think what would be interesting today is to each drive this vehicle separately and to come back at the end and tell each other kind of what we thought about the vehicle and kind of sort of compare it to
the Land Cruiser,
which was our last loaner vehicle that we had for a week. So yeah, I think that'd be really interesting. Let's get into it.
Let's do it. First things first, there is a massager in the seat. So I'm gonna go ahead and select that. Driver's side, power intensity, let's just go with level 5. Okay, upper body, because you know, I'm a little tight in my shoulders. Oh wow, okay. Oh, this is so weird. Y'all know that our newest car is 20 years old. So when I get into cars like these, I don't mean to seem like super weird about it, but like just having the screen is weird to me. Just having the touch start, and now a massager. So now that I got rid of Jimmy and he's not going to backseat drive me the whole time, now I can really take it for a drive on my own as if I'm having like a mommy's day out or like a Farris's day off type of situation, and just feel it out, how it would be by myself rolling down the street in a LEXUS GX. Let's go. Wow. Power. So this is the V6 turbo, twin turbo. When we reviewed the Land Cruiser just a few months ago, that was the iForce Max, so that was the hybrid. I'm trying to feel the true difference between both of them. You know, I mean, for me as a chick, I just get in a car and I'm like, ooh, this is cool. Jimmy has taught me, like, oh, did you hear that engine? You hear that sound? You hear that turbo? You hear that diesel? So now I kind of have an ear to that. Okay, so this handles really well. I'm on a very curvy road. The person that you think about who would be driving a Lexus is like bougie, you know, kind of, it's more of a luxurious car. When I compare it to the Land Cruiser, that type of girl seems like an adventure kind of girl. So let's say, you know, I'm rolling up to Trader Joe's and there's a mom that gets out of a Lexus. She's like, you know, a luxurious kind of bougie mom. The girl that rolls up in the Land Cruiser is like an adventure girl. That's just like the way I perceive it. This back massager, you don't get any more bougie than that. So I'm really trying to decide, like, if I had an endless supply of money and I had the choice of getting this Lexus with the V6 twin turbo or the iForce Max and the Land Cruiser, what would I get? I know Jimmy probably knows all the different, like the price difference. I think that the Lexus is a few $1,000s more. I can't remember exactly, maybe 5,000 or 6,000, but depending on like how you spec it out. So, I mean, you know, it's not like the price is a huge difference, but still, I mean, that's a lot of money. Like my car, my Envoy was $6,000 total, the Envoy that I drive right now. So that's a big deal. Really like feeling this with the V6. I must say, like, I love this engine. You hear that? Whoa. Now, don't get me wrong, that Land Cruiser, it had power. A downside with the hybrids is you lose the cargo space. And that's important. That, I mean, you're missing out on a whole 2 extra big toilet paper rolls at Costco, like trunk space. And that's important. But the Lexus, I mean, it's luxurious. But I don't know, am I an adventure girl? Or am I luxurious? I'm kind of, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of both, but kind of more a adventure girl. I love that all of the new cars have these. Not these, but the ice chest thing in the middle, the cold box. I mean, this is brilliant because I bring a lunch box everywhere I go. I mean, we make our own food. My daughter's always starving, 5 minutes after we get in the car to go somewhere. Gotta have space for my coffee, my water. This is beautiful though, and I love the color. Good cargo space, roomy, a little bit bougie. I know actually that the perfect scenario would be the Land Cruiser with the V6 twin turbo. That is actually, if I could merge the two, if I could merge the Lexus GX with the Land Cruiser, and I don't know if the Land Cruiser has the option for the massagers, I would want that too. Jimmy said, hey, just, the cameras are they're gonna get hot. It's like, it's Tennessee right now, it's like 100 degrees. So you only have, probably about like 15 minutes. Now I'm just thinking I'm gonna ditch everyone and just take this on a joyride. It's actually nice. It's so quiet in here too. This is new to us, this car reviewing. Jimmy's just been working on cars for the last 9 years on his channel, which he's still going to continue to do, of course. This has just been a really fun opportunity for us to do as a couple. And this is our first loan from Lexus to test out. And I think it's great that we got this one next because the comparison, it's basically the same car. I mean, it is, but it isn't, with a different engine. So it's cool that we're getting to try both of them out. It has a lot of power. It does. That Land Cruiser though, when you pushed on the gas, you went instantly. This has like a 2-second delay, which no biggie, but I'm curious what is actually, I think horsepower wise, that the Lexus is slightly more powerful, I believe. Jimmy will probably correct me on that, but it's hard to really feel that as just a regular person driving, not on a racetrack. I wanted to take my little opportunity. I wanted to take this little opportunity to have some snacks and finish my morning coffee. Since I'm by myself, you moms know. So what me and Jimmy are gonna do is reveal to each other what we would pick. The Land Cruiser, iForce Max, the V6 Lexus, what we would choose if we had the choice. I have no idea what Jimmy's gonna pick. I mean, I know he loves the Land Cruiser, but same as me, he likes the V6 engine. So, in conclusion, I'm going to pick the Land Cruiser, but with the V6 and the massagers. So, let's see what he picks. We'll see if we're really meant to be, if he's on the same page as me, which I kind of have a feeling he might be. But he is a rule follower, so he might really stick to like what is available. Now it's Jimmy's turn.
All right, my turn. I'm currently in my fleet loan from Lexus, which is the LEXUS GX 550 Overtrail Plus. That's right. This vehicle retails for about $83,000 hairs. This is a beautiful vehicle with tons of power from the twin turbo V6, producing 349 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. That's up from the previous generation V8, which had 301 horsepower. So the interesting thing is, we recently had the new Land Cruiser, and boy, did we love that vehicle. So having the GX 550, which is almost the same vehicle, obviously in Lexus clothing, this was something I really wanted to test out. We are getting essentially a back-to-back review of slightly different yet slightly the same vehicle. Now, of course, we all know that the Land Cruiser comes with a 2.4 liter hybrid turbo engine, which produces 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque, I think. And well, this GX 550 Overtrail Plus produces 349 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. I think those are the numbers. Now, since this video is about the GX 550, I'm gonna try to keep it GX 550 focused. So, about this engine, it is powerful. But the other thing is, this vehicle has a 10-speed transmission, whereas the Land Cruiser had an 8-speed. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and merge with some spirit. There's definitely some spirit there. Wow. Holy moly, this thing, my heart just started beating. This thing is a sports car in SUV form that can go off-road. The GX 550, in my opinion, is absolutely amazing. It feels very refined. It feels effortless to drive. Every once in a while, I do feel the transmission kind of hunting for gears, but it's nothing alarming. It's just noticeable. Now, being the Overtrail trim, this vehicle is of course equipped with 33-inch tall tires, off-road tires, and I'll tell you what, I can hear them. I can hear them when I drive, and they do sound like that typical off-road tire sound where you can kind of hear it going wah, 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 you know, that weird sound. And I'm going to throw something really interesting out there. So I own a 1995 GMC Suburban that is on about 32-inch tall tires, and I don't hear that from those. Those tires are a lot more quiet than the tires that are on this Lexus, which is really interesting to me. Now, on the flip side of that, I will say that these tires look incredible on this vehicle. I think they are perfectly sized. They're not too big to where you're like thinking that, you know, you put too big of tires on the vehicle, and they're not too small. They don't look too small at all. They look perfectly sized. One thing I notice in this thing as well is the suspension. The suspension seems very smooth, very floaty, again, in a good way. The steering is very good, and the overall just driving experience is obviously really nice. Now, price point, the GX 550 starts at about $65,000, whereas the Land Cruiser starts at about $56,000. So there is a little bit of a difference there. Obviously, this Lexus GX 550 is gonna be more expensive than the Land Cruiser. And that being said, I know that there's ways you can build these things out to be, I think I've even heard, within a few $100s of each other between the Land Cruiser and the GX. But when you really search the dealership inventory across the nation, what's actually on the lots is more, for the GX anyway, more in the range of like 75 to 85, even to 90 plus $1,000. Whereas the Land Cruiser you can find for, you know, low 70s. You know, there are some that are more than that, of course, but with everything I'm seeing price-wise, even when I go to look at used vehicles, the GX across the board is just more expensive. It just is. And it's kind of more expensive by a lot. So if price point is the question here, and you want one of these you know, Land Cruiser GX mid-sized SUVs, the Land Cruiser's probably gonna get you more for your money. And lastly, just comparing the Land Cruiser that we had with this GX here, both are absolutely incredible vehicles, drive phenomenal, but for some reason, and now it's been a while since I've had the Land Cruiser, but for some reason I'm remembering the Land Cruiser being a little more kind of light feeling, kind of more peppy, kind of, I don't want to say easier to drive, but it almost seemed a little quicker in a weird way off the line, a little quicker for the transmission to get you going. Whereas this, you almost have to press the gas and kind of wait a second for the thing to kick in. Now, I don't know if that's due to turbo lag. I don't know if that's due to the transmission, just trying to find the right gear to start out in. But regardless, both of them are great. I'm just trying to figure out which one I prefer the drivability of. Yeah, this one's got some power. Wow.
Okay, we're both back.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the Lexus?
Obviously, absolutely insanely good. Insanely cool, very good.
What was your favorite part about the drive? Like what was your overall feeling?
So, like the foremost thought on this GX 550 is the amount of power that it has. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's gobs of torque. I think it's 479 pound-feet of torque. There was one glaring thing, though.
Okay, don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I loved. Mm-hmm. This is a head turner, okay?
Oh, yeah.
This is a bougie ride. You feel
beautiful.
Fancy driving in it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a massage the entire drive.
Yeah. Okay, honey, so being that you've had seat time in the GX mm-hmm. and the Land Cruiser grade with our last loaner vehicle, what would you rather have?
All right, do you want to know the results?
Yeah, I want to know the results.
You wrote yours down too, right?
Yes, I did.
You haven't seen this, right?
Nope.
So
Land Cruiser with V6 and massaging and messaging seats.
Messaging? Did I spell it wrong?
I don't know. So the Land Cruiser with mm-hmm. this V6, twin turbo V6.
Does that exist yet?
Not yet. It might, but it doesn't yet.
Do you like my idea?
You want, yes, of course. And I thought that exact same thing. However, pull mine out of my pocket.
Okay.
Mine's in my back pocket. Let's see what it says. Farris is going to pull it out, and we'll see what I picked.
Land Cruiser with iForce Max.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Wow.
I know the iForce Max gets a lot of flack because it's a 4-cylinder turbo hybrid. And I know this engine is a fire-breathing dragon with tons of power.
Yeah, baby.
I love this vehicle, of course. How could you not? For me, something about the Land Cruiser and how peppy it was when you barely have to touch the gas and it's like you're just going. The one glaring thing I was going to mention earlier, the one glaring thing was turbo lag.
I talked about that, which is funny.
I think turbo lag is real, guys. I need to make a hat that says turbo lag is real. Even though this thing, I mean, you know, it's not like it takes forever, but once it gets up and goes, it's like your head and your whole body is in the back of the seat. Like this thing just takes off. So
what's the little 3 seconds you have to wait for it to take off, huh?
Well,
what is that?
It's not a big deal. It really isn't. I mean, it's a great feeling. This vehicle has tons of power.
You want to know what I think,
what?
Jimmy?
What
this is what I think. One Road followers out there, you write in the comments.
Yes.
Do you agree with me?
Yes.
That it's a Land Cruiser with the Lexus V6 engine? Mm-hmm. Or do you agree with Jimmy? And with the Land Cruiser, just straight up how it is with iForce Max.
Well, we'd like to thank Lexus for giving us this opportunity to review this GX 550 Overtrail Plus. If you're curious about our review videos on the Land Cruiser, check the links down in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you are watching this far and you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I'm Jimmy for One Road.
And I'm Farris.
And we will see you
in the next one.
In the next one.
Come here real quick, Jimmy. What does that say right there?
That, yeah, that says twin turbo.
Mm-hmm.